apparently had some legitimate fear about an offer sheet for Evan Bouchard. Zach Lang has the full story up at Oilersnation.com, but this is once again from Elliot Friedman. Bouchard signed an extension in Edmonton. Carolina reportedly threatened to offer sheet him. Bouchard's extension was expected to be in the 4 years, $9.5 million range, but the Oilers had to essentially up the offer to avoid that offer sheet from Carolina, which I would imagine, just knowing what we know, Carolina very well may have been ready to go 5 years, $11.5 million for Bouchard and say to hell with all the draft picks. And that's why Edmonton had to do what they did with Bouch, where it's a 4-year deal, less term, but he gets to unrestricted free agency a little bit quicker. With the context of this, the cap going up, the Provorov and Dobson deals, 4 by 10.5 in hindsight is not all that stunning or even disappointing because, yeah, an offer sheet would have been very worrisome.
Yeah, I wrote about it a little bit before as well as like a speculated rumor of Carolina was the only legit team. I think we looked at it on the show as well. They have their entire team signed up for next season, and obviously missed out on Bouchard, but they just went and got Keandre Miller and Nick Ehlers instead. They had a really solid offseason to try and push themselves to the next level. But Bowman spoke about it too in an interview with Bob Stauffer, and he said they had called around, and he didn't specifically say Carolina, but he's like, there's a couple of teams that legit told us they were just going to offer sheet Evan Bouchard if he got past July 1st. And obviously, we saw it the other day. Teams file for arbitration, players file for arbitration. Both ways go. Like once it gets to that point, you can't do an offer sheet. But I don't think it would have made it to that point in the offseason. And Bowman continued to say in that as well. It's like picks would have meant nothing to us at this moment. Bouchard is an irreplaceable player for the Oilers in this moment. They wouldn't have been able to find anyone with his ability.
Yeah. D is in. And like D, I get where you're coming from, but I'm going to roast the comment just a touch. So all that means is Bouchard doesn't care about being an Oiler, just wants to get paid. Yeah, they all do. They have like 10 to 12 years to make as much money as they can. They all care about getting paid more than they care about being Oilers. And like the proof is in Corey Perry talked about winning and how much he loved being an Oiler and signed in LA for $4 million. That's a guy who made $100 million in his career. And even after making $100 million went, you know what I want? An extra $2 million. And my chances of winning a cup, gone. LA ain't winning shit. But he said, I want to live in LA and get an extra $2 million. That's with $100 million in the bank already. Evan Bouchard's made what? 12 to 15 million? Yeah, that guy wants to maximize his earnings in his career. We can sit here and talk about, oh, they should love being Oilers, this, that, all of it. At the end of the day, it's very easy to say that when there's not millions of dollars that you could earn on the line. Like,
yeah. And also, too, D, if Bouchard just wanted to get paid, he wouldn't have accepted the deal knowing that an extra $11 million, extra $500,000 million bucks was coming his way from the offer sheet. So that is what it is. And also too, Bowman literally said Bouchard told us how much he loves to play in Edmonton.
Yeah, and
you can't expect all these guys to take no money. Like it's not fair. It's not the way the league works, and we can all sit here, bitch, and complain about like, oh, they make too much money. Yeah, whatever. Like Ty says, it's like go complain about the billionaires that own the team. These guys are just the hockey players, and this is just a circumstance they're in. Too that we talk about Bouchard is like take a pay cut. They bridged him for $4 million, and he put up has led the playoffs by points by a defenseman for 3 years in a row. He took the pay cut and they still didn't win. It's his fault. But anyways, well, and that understanding the point of it for sure.
And I know the thing with Bouchard, like there are other contracts that they had to squeeze in. Like it would have been very hard to do it. But like imagine how much we're loving life right now if instead of bridging Bouchard at 3.6, the Oilers just said, here's your $8 by $6 million contract you wanted. Like, we're laughing. Yeah. We're laughing right now. But again, if you're going to do that, you have to take short-term pain for the long-term gain. And, like, this organization at every turn just doesn't want to seem to do that. And it's the tough part to, like, give them some sympathy and to, like, lean more to their side and justify it. It's very hard to take short-term pain when every year you're desperate to try win a Stanley Cup, but maybe this is the offseason or the next year and a bit where we see the Oilers do that a little bit more or start to do that a little bit more, because with the cap skyrocketing, maybe you can afford to take a little bit of long-term pain, and it was more difficult in a flat cap era to sit there and be like, hey, can we find the extra $3.5 million for a guy like Evan Bouchard? So, yeah. What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.